P sub f in psi g, we convert to psi a and do the calculation. I don't emphasize much on that, but yes, you should know that. Okay, 1/2 the square root of the range of the chart or something. To know exactly how to do this, it is in the ICOG group. Okay, there's a given table and more reference material that you will need to read. Yes, question.
Why on that table A22 does it say that square root term equals
A22, the square root term equal to infinity. Any help for me, Mr. Bulan? Square root HWPF equal to infinity. What is that about? Okay. You see this one? HW divided by P sub F equal to 0. Okay. So it's kind of mean the same thing. So the top line mean that line too. If P sub F go to infinity, then HW over P sub F equal to 0, right? You agree? So if P sub F go to infinity, then we have this condition. Or if P sub F go to infinity, let's say HW is 1, then the square root of those multiplication equal to infinity. What this is telling me is that the accuracy goal is acceptable if the pressure drop across the orifice plate is somewhat less compared to the static pressure. So let's say if I have static pressure of just 20 psi A, okay? Static pressure of 20 psi A. And I have the pressure drop across the detector, another 20 psi A. It's not good. The reading doesn't work. Okay? We don't, HW over P sub F will be equal to 1. It's not good. So this means, this thing implies the pressure drop across the detector has to be a lot less than the static pressure itself. Okay? That's what I remember right now. I will also read it more and tell you. Okay? For right now, from what I remember is the HW has to be a lot less compared to the static pressure. I don't want, let's say I have a 100 psi A. I don't want the pressure drop like 50 psi A or something. The pressure drop has to be very small, like inch of water. Okay, good. So if there's a lot of pressure drop, it's not going to be accurate. Okay, a lot of pressure drop means there's a lot of unknown that we may not be able to account for, like the rotation over here. That thing, okay, it will be too much. Okay, if we have a lot of pressure drop, it also means that the whole of the orifice plate is too small, right? We don't want that. Maybe it's good for now. I'll try to tell you more about that, okay? Alright, Y factor is used to account for the expansion. It's an expansion factor, variation in density because of the pressure drop and adiabatic temperature change. There are some temperature change, okay? We have table for it, okay? And we have pressure-based factor, temperature-based factor. What is it? Temperature and pressure. Flowing temperature factor, okay? Specific gravity factor, 1 over square root gamma g. Oh, okay, next. Martina, how do I get specific gravity of the gas in the pipe? How? Is it 5.5? Can it be 0.1? Gamma g, can it be 0.1? In general, gamma g can be 0.1. Gamma g can be 0.1, true or false? What? True or false? Which one do you use?
True.
-1, okay, it's false. Most of the time we produce what? Methane, right? That's in the gas flow line. It's methane. Marina, how do we calculate gamma G? What's the formula for that? Watt divided by what? No, you do. Rohan, no, you don't help her, okay? Rohan tried to answer your question. Not good. What's your answer, Marina? It's not about anything. This kind of thing is not given in the exam, and I expect that you know. Okay. It is the molecular weight of methane divided by molecular weight of air. Molecular weight of air equal to what, Marina? 29. Molecular weight of methane equal to what? 16. 16 divided by 29. It cannot be 0.1. Okay? In some cases we have gamma more than 5.5. Let's say we have nitrogen, right? N2. Okay? If we have carbon dioxide molecular weight is 44, right? N2 is 28, right? Molecular weight of nitrogen is N2 is 28. Okay? If we have pure nitrogen, we have gamma is almost like 0.9 or 1, right? So if we have carbon dioxide, we have ethane in it. So gamma G will be more than 0.55. Okay. So in general, gamma G can be in the range of 0.1 to 0.5. That's wrong. Okay. Super compressibility factor, ZB over square root Z. ZB is the base compressibility factor. Compressibility factor is the base pressure and temperature. Okay, it's about 1. It is 1. And Z is the compressibility factor at the operating condition. Use the chart, right? And we just get it from the table. Okay. F sub M, manometer factor used with mercury different gauges to compensate to the column of compressed gas opposite to mercury lake. This is not considered for pressure below 500 psi. Okay. So something more than that, we just multiply by F sub M. More detail of physical meaning of all this is in ICOCU, okay? Gauge location, where the orifice meter are installed, and location other than 45 latitude and sea level elevation. If I do sea level, okay, I use that number, almost 1 degree latitude. If I do 45 degree latitude and at the sea level, the multiplication is 1. If I go up on the mountain, let's say 2,000 or 4,000 and latitude, okay, I move to equator. So multiplication factor is changed. It's almost 1, but why it is that matter? Typically when you see 1.0002, you just round it up to 1, right? But in this case, you must not. Every digit is dollar amount. Okay, it is that accurate. Okay, so that is account for the location. Where is it? Is it on the equator? Is it in Texas, Michigan, or somewhere in Canada? So different location. Is it sea level or on the mountain or something? And orifice thermal expansion factor F sub A introduced to correct the error due to expansion or contraction of the orifice plate itself. So remember that orifice plate is metal, right? It's a piece of metal. When it's cold, put it in Alaska or something. When it's cold, it shrinks, right? When it's very hot, okay, it expands. A little expansion of that has some effect on that, and they account for it by using this equation. Okay, so depend on if it is stainless steel, use this equation. If it's mono alloy, use another equation. Okay, it's a lot. Okay, and there will be some calculation example, and you will read it, do the homework. Okay. My point here is theory is very good. Without the theory, we cannot come up with this kind of form. Okay. And after we know the theory, we know that we have to account for any error. And that is all these factors. Okay. Most of them get like maybe from another theory or maybe empirically, okay, from measurement. Okay. This thing, you have a chance to read it by yourself, okay, and do the homework. Homework is today, right? Homework will be given about 5 p.m. today. New homework, as promised in the syllabus. You remember the syllabus? Yeah, the syllabus, and in the syllabus there's 10 homework. I will do like what I promised. Okay, factor need to be considered: maximum peak hourly rate, duration maximum peak, minimum hourly rate. Okay, metering gauge pressure required, availability, permissible pressure variable. We need to consider several factors. If the orifice plate is too small, we have too much pressure drop, it's not going to be accurate measurement. Okay, and we like lost too much pressure with no reason. For the working range of orifice plate and differential gauge is for maximum capacity to about 1/16 of maximum. Okay, so we go from 1/16 to the maximum for the working range. Okay, if it is lower than that, we may need to consider the larger hole orifice plate. Okay, selection. How do we select it? We need to know the gas flow rate. We need to know the pressure. We need to know the temperature. We need to know the elevation. Okay, you got it. And based on that, we have the Reynolds number factor, compressibility factor. We need to know if it's a flange tap, pipe tap, all those things. Okay, the difference HW should not exceed the static pressure P sub F. Okay, that's the question that you asked. Okay, so differential pressure should be a lot smaller than P sub F for accuracy purpose. The meter run ID should be at least 1/3 larger than the orifice opening. This is a rule of thumb. Okay, 1/3 larger at least. Okay, both differential and static pressure pens should preferably operate within the middle 60% of the recording shaft. So when we have the shaft, the pen should record something in the middle. Okay, not at the 10%, 5% or something. So it should be like somewhere in the 60% range for the accuracy. Okay, memorize at least 2 of these. Okay, top 5 reasons of condition affecting the accuracy. Number 5, okay, condition of the orifice edge. The possible deviation from the specification that upstream edge of the orifice. So it has to be square and sharp. If it's not sharp, it's not accurate. Okay. Number 4, condition of meter tube. Okay. The coefficients are obtained from the test and commercial iron pipe with corresponding roughness. Measurement would be high with too smooth pipe and low with too rough pipe. Okay. So condition of the pipe matter. Okay. If the pipe getting old, that affect the accuracy. Pulsation. We don't want pulse in the orifice. Okay. Let's say we have a compressor. Compressor have a pulse. That causes error in the orifice plate measurement. Wet gas. Orifice plate is for single phase. Okay, just gas. Most of the time it's for gas. If it's for liquid, you will use. I think it can be done, but all the coefficients, the correction factor will be completely different. Okay, different derivation. But it's mainly used for gas, and it has to be dry. Inside that gas, if it has some droplet, it's cause accuracy. So this means the separator, mist extractor must remove all those already. Otherwise, the orifice plate flow meter doesn't work. Okay. Number 1 reason is Pumper changes orifice plate and does not note on the chart. I changed the new one already. I didn't tell anyone. Whatever you get, it could be error. I changed from this hole to another size of hole. Okay. Or I put it. I put the back side in the front. Oh my God! If I put the back side in the front, everything just wrong. Okay. The sharp edge has to face upstream. Mass flow meter, outfit maybe measure gas, blah blah blah. We don't quite emphasize on that, but look at this. Outfit meter may be used to measure the gas on a mass flow basis too. Okay, the density of flowing gas is measured by densitometer. Densitometer substituted by blah blah blah. Even if we use it to measure the mass, we have different kind of correction factor or something, and those numbers come from table anyway. Good? Okay, done. It's just noon. You cannot go like 10 minutes early. No.
Let me say something about orifice measurement. Generally, any error in the orifice measurement, anything that goes wrong with it, works to the advantage of the guy buying the gas. So that's your cash register. That's where you make all your money, is at that orifice plate. And if there's any of those errors that you look at, most of those go to the benefit of the purchaser of the gas. So you're losing money. If you work for the midstream guy, you're going to make money. The other thing is that if you look at all the factors that make up your orifice flow equation, what's the biggest one? All those numbers on all those charts, there's one big, way bigger than all the rest.
Human error? What do you call that?
The one that's for the basic orifice size itself, when you determine the beta ratio. That number is much larger than anything else you put in that equation.
Beta? Or what are you talking about?
The basic orifice.
FB.
Yeah.
F sub B.
And that depends on the orifice size relative to the pipe size. So if you change that orifice plate, you're changing the biggest single factor in the calculation of the flow rate. And that's why it's so important to have accurate information coming in. If you go back out to OTC, you'll see that meter and the chart and all the pieces that go back with it, and that's the most common way of selling gas in the oil field. The bigger volumes will be with Coriolis meters, but that orifice meter is the big one that most people use.
So does most operators, they own the meter, right? Or is the midstream?
It's usually the purchaser, the pipeliner, the midstream company will own the orifice meter. The operator may put a check meter in series with it. I get my reading, the pipeline company gets their reading.
So as an operator, would you be necessarily on the hook for changing the orifice plate in
No.
midstream?
I'm not going to change the plate on the midstream company.
Okay, well, how do you make sure that the plate is working properly in their meter?
You're going to have to witness it when they calibrate it. It's like on a pipeline unit for a light unit. Whenever the pipeline company calibrates it, you need to be there and witness it. Okay. See how big those numbers are in comparison to?
F sub B. It can go 12 to like 1,000, depending on the size.
Yeah, you got 2 to 3 digits to the left of the decimal, and every other correction factor you put in the orifice flow equation
It's small.
is small on the other side.
So I have 50 and 79 go to 200 for F sub B, basic orifice factor. F sub R, they seem to be close, right? 0.0 something, but it changed with the pipe diameter. But look at this thing. Y value, it doesn't change much. It's 1 or something about 1. 0.98888. It's something about 1. And that sea level thing, expansion is about 1. It doesn't change much. And manometer factor, 1 or something close to 1. Okay, for different temperature. It doesn't change much. F sub R, gauge location, doesn't change much. The one that changed a lot is F sub B, I think. Basic orifice factor. So if pumper change from the hole in the orifice, I feel like I have too much pressure drop. Let's use a bigger one. So I go from 159 to 212. It's a problem. Okay. Okay, next. Gas and liquid pipeline. You may buy GPSA, Akoku, or some others book. Okay. Okay, this equation. Did we talk about it already? A little bit, right? Total pressure loss is frictional pressure loss plus gravitational pressure loss plus accelerational pressure loss. I use all minus sign because all this sign is indicated pressure loss. So dPdZ. If I have pressure gain, okay, how do I calculate dP by dZ? This means P at downstream minus P at upstream, right? Divided by the difference. So P at downstream is lower because I have pressure loss. I put minus sign so that it becomes positive. All right. When you see this equation, the possible question is that a fanning friction factor or Moody friction factor? That F. And in the test, that F, you should be able to tell it. Okay. Okay. Is that equation for laminar flow or turbulent flow? So that's small f. So who's next? What's your name? Benedict? Yes? Okay. That f is fanning friction factor or Moody friction factor? Because I wrote over there, right? Fanning friction factor. Yes. The equation that you have seen is valid for both. We don't typically use it for gas because for gas it's difficult to do it accurately. The gas density change with pressure and pressure drop along the pipe. When the pressure change, it's not even isothermal. Temperature can change, right? So when the temperature change, the density change, that's change Reynolds number. But the equation itself valid. Okay. Okay. We have 6 minutes left. Who have calculator? Anyone bring calculator? Or you want to test your calculator? Can I give you a calculator? Come with me. Okay, this part I will talk about it later. But for the time that we have left, let's talk about Colebrook equation. Colebrook equation is for the case of turbulent flow. It's a more accurate way of more accurate than Harlan equation. Okay, it's a implicit equation. We have square root f on both sides, and that square root f is in the law. Okay, we have to solve it numerically somehow, and your calculator can do it. Okay, your calculator can do it. For example, epsilon equal to 150 micron. Reynolds number is 10,000, 10 to the power 5. ID is that much. Initial guess is that. How do we use successive method on friction factor? Okay, so I rearrange the equation. F sub f equal to this whole thing to the power of minus 2. Okay, and my point is your calculator work. Okay, and we don't even need to use Excel. Okay, you ready for that? Cannot. If you see, how do I turn it on? That. Okay, now it's on. You see it? No. Podium light. I'm sorry. Podium light. Light on. Okay. Good. So the equation is minus 4 log something epsilon over d. Okay. I put parentheses. minus 4. Where's minus sign? Minus 4. The minus 4. Okay, I have minus 4 multiply by log base 10. Oh, before I do any of this, I'm sorry. I have to do 0.01 and press. Is that what? Enter? Yes. Okay. How do I do answer? Shift and that give me answer, right? Okay. So before any of that, I have to do initial guess, and then I can start minus 4 multiply by log base 10. How do I do log base 10? Where is it? Okay, log base 10 of epsilon over d. Epsilon I have 150 micron. Where's e minus 6? How do you do e minus 6? No, not that one. Delete that. E minus 6. Okay, that's what I have, right? Divided by diameter 0.052. Yes.
Are you showing us how to use this calculator?
Correct. So that you can do in the exam. And then I divide by 3.7. Okay. Plus 1.256 divided by Reynolds number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divided by square root f. How do I do square root? Oh, it's time to go.
How are we going to know how to use it?
Oh, I have 2 minutes. No. I'm listening. So square root f. How do I do square root? Square root f. Instead of f, I put answer. Okay. And then go out of everything. Close parenthesis for log. Close parenthesis of everything, and raise to the power of. No, that's wrong. How do I delete this one? Delete. To the power of minus 2. Then I just click enter. Enter again. Click enter again. Enter again. Enter again. Enter again. Several times. Okay? I get the same number because it's converged quickly. Good? That is. Okay, let's check. I get 0.006, right? On my screen, I also get 0.0068 or 747. You check this? Is this the same as that? It's a magic, right? Okay, thank you for coming. Hopefully, you can do this on either quiz or the exam.